Most ambitious people want to have peak health so they can perform better, get more done in less time, and just feel better doing it. They want to have more energy, better focus, and more control over their body. That way they can excel better in fitness, in their relationships, in their business, all that kind of stuff. But for a lot of ambitious, high-performing people, health becomes frustrating more than it becomes empowering. They try a bunch of random things, they follow advice, and they put in the work, but nothing really changes. So what usually happens is this: you start optimizing your health because you understand it's going to improve your performance. But after a while, you start feeling lost, confused, and overwhelmed. You might already be training, you might have tried a bunch of supplements, you might have changed your training routines, maybe even did a blood test to see what your testosterone levels are if you're a guy. And most of that was just from things you heard online. You tied a bunch of advice together to see what works, but ultimately it didn't work. And at some point, at least subconsciously, you start feeling like health doesn't actually work, or that it's not really worth the time and energy. You probably go to the gym, you move your body, you try and eat pretty clean, you try and follow certain protocols and take certain supplements and that kind of thing, but your energy is still very inconsistent, your focus isn't that reliable, your stress becomes way too hard to manage, and your sleep is a hit or miss. And you're probably already doing well in your field, but you understand if you're able to get rid of these issues and get more sustainable performance, you would excel so much more. I've been living and teaching health optimization since 2019. I've worked with founders earning up to 7 figures a month down to 9-to-5 workers who just keep burning out. And the pattern shows up everywhere. It's disciplined people who feel like they're doing all the things right, but something still feels off. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you why most health advice online doesn't work for disciplined people. I'm going to teach you what actually matters, the things you should actually be focusing on instead, and how to restore and optimize your health in a way that fits your unique situation in a way that's sustainable. And through that, health will stop feeling confusing and actually feel like leverage. The biggest mistake I see from these high-performing disciplined people is they hear a bunch of things online or from their friends and their family, and they try and tie it all together, right? You hear about a new supplement, a new routine, a new diet, and you get really excited to add this to your protocol. But health has way too many variables for that approach to actually work. Unless you're addressing the real bottleneck in your system, no amount of discipline, willpower, or random habits you find online is going to fix it. And if you're not testing, you're guessing, and guessing will not lead to sustainable, optimal health. You need real data to figure out what your body actually needs, right? For some people, it's sleep. For some people, it's hormones. For some people, it's gut health. For some people, it's stress. That's the main bottleneck. And you can't see your biomarkers without testing. You can't see your gut health without a real test. And you can't see how well you're actually recovering without tracking it. Unless you use real data to guide your decisions, you're just guessing, and that's not going to work sustainably. And even if you've tried a bunch of things and tied them together and you've got some results, it usually doesn't last. And I was there myself. I made all the mistakes. I tried random things online. I fell for all the marketing, all the random supplements that were meant to change my life completely. All the morning and night routines, the diet hacks, keto, carnivore, intermittent fasting, ice baths, saunas, all this kind of stuff, right? I was trying to do all that because I was super ambitious at the time. I was building a business, I was training and competing in martial arts. I was also studying and working a 9-to-5 job for cash flow. I was trying to do all the habits and just help me perform better. But nothing really worked. In the end, my sleep was still cooked and very inconsistent. My gut health didn't really change. My breathing was poor. My stress management was dog shit. I wasn't recovering. I was under eating calories without realizing. I was eating inflammatory foods that I thought was healthy. Until I finally started testing and figuring out what my body actually needs, that's when I found the real bottlenecks and the things that I focused on that massively improved my life, which for me was sleep and gut health. And probably stress as well. So once you follow a data-driven health system, health stops feeling confusing. You actually know what to do. You feel less confused. You stop chasing and finding random solutions you find online, and your actions feel effortless. You feel calm and confident because you know what you need to focus on, and it's usually the minimal thing compared to what you think. And it's just like running a business. Like, you look at the KPIs, you look at the data, and you can calmly identify what you need to focus on to grow the business. It's the same with your health. And if you don't do this, you're going to stay stuck on the hamster wheel. You try random herbs, supplements, routines, diets, protocols, things you hear online from your grandma, from your girlfriend, from your cousin, whatever it is, right? And you might get small improvements here and there, but ultimately you will not sustain it. And always feeling like you're in peak health will just feel like a dream or something that's definitely not achievable. But trust me guys, health actually works when it's approached the right way. You understand what's the real bottleneck, and then you build a system around it. And once you restore, then you just sustain and optimize. And from that point, it's very easy. And anything outside of this is you just guessing and wasting time, energy, money, and just getting more frustrated and confused. And that's it from me, boys. I hope you found that useful. If you did, leave a like, sub, and comment. And check out my other videos. I've got plenty of guides that walk through how you can optimize your sleep, all this kind of stuff relating to health. If you want my one-to-one help, then you can click the link in the description. Have a good one. Ciao.